Question 1. Under Massachusetts law, if an insurance adjuster discovers during a claim investigation that the policyholder may have misrepresented certain information on their insurance application, which action should the adjuster take? A. Deny the claim outright due to the misrepresentation. B. Inform the insurer about the potential misrepresentation and continue the investigation. C. Report the policyholder to state authorities immediately. D. Ignore the misrepresentation if it is not related to the current claim. Answer: B. Inform the insurer about the potential misrepresentation and continue the investigation. Explanation: the Massachusetts Unfair Claims Settlement Practices Act requires adjusters to handle claims fairly and ethically. Misrepresentation by the policyholder could be grounds for claim denial, but the adjuster must inform the insurer and allow the insurer to assess the impact of the misrepresentation on the policy. Denying a claim outright, option A, without proper procedure could violate fair claims practices. Reporting to state authorities, option C, is not immediately required. Instead, it's an internal issue to be assessed first. Ignoring the misrepresentation, option D, is incorrect, as misrepresentation can impact coverage if it materially affects the risk. Question 2, scenario-based. Sarah, an adjuster, is assessing damage to a home following a major storm. The policyholder, Mr. Evans, had both wind and flood damage to his property. His homeowner's policy covers wind damage but excludes flood damage. Mr. Evans argues that both damages should be covered since the storm caused all the destruction. How should Sarah proceed in handling this claim? A. Approve both wind and flood damages since they were both caused by the storm. B. Deny the entire claim since the policy does not cover flood damage. C. Approve only the wind damage portion and deny the flood damage portion, explaining the exclusions in the policy. D. Approve flood damage only as it caused the majority of the damage. Answer: C. Approve only the wind damage portion and deny the flood damage portion, explaining the exclusions in the policy. Explanation: in Massachusetts, adjusters must follow the terms of the policy as written. Here, the policy covers wind damage but explicitly excludes flood damage. The adjuster should assess each type of damage individually, ensuring fair claims handling and adherence to the contract. Denying the entire claim, option B, would be inappropriate as there is covered wind damage. Proving both damages, option A, would breach policy terms as flood damage is not covered. Option D is incorrect since flood damage is excluded even if it caused significant damage. Question 3. Which of the following best describes the principle of utmost good faith as it applies to insurance contracts? A. Both the insurer and policyholder are obligated to disclose all material facts honestly and completely. B. The insurer must provide coverage regardless of the policyholder's disclosure. C. The policyholder has no obligation to disclose material information unless directly asked. D. Both the insurer and policyholder agree to fulfill the policy's conditions regardless of truthfulness. Answer A. Both the insurer and policyholder are obligated to disclose all material facts honestly and completely. Explanation: the principle of utmost good faith, Uberima fides, is fundamental to insurance, requiring both parties to act with complete honesty and transparency. This principle obligates both the insurer and the insured to disclose all relevant and material information. Options B and D are incorrect because they suggest obligations that do not adhere to the requirement of truthfulness in the contract. Option C is incorrect because the insured is required to disclose material facts even without direct questions, as non-disclosure could affect risk assessment and policy terms. Question 4. In Massachusetts, when an insured makes a claim under their homeowner's policy for a fire loss, which method is typically used by the adjuster to calculate the claim amount if the policyholder has replacement cost coverage? A. Pay the actual cash value of the items and later reimburse for full replacement cost upon proof of purchase. B. Pay the full replacement cost immediately, regardless of the policyholder's actual expenses. C. Offer a cash settlement based on market value rather than replacement cost. D. Require the policyholder to cover the initial costs and then reimburse only after repairs are completed. Answer A. Pay the actual cash value of the items and later reimburse for full replacement cost upon proof of purchase. Explanation: under replacement cost coverage in Massachusetts, the insurer usually pays the actual cash value (SCV) initially, which accounts for depreciation. The policyholder can then receive the remaining amount up to the replacement cost after providing proof of repair or replacement. This ensures the policyholder is reimbursed for the actual replacement cost but avoids overpayment if the items are not replaced. Options B, C, and D do not reflect standard replacement cost procedures, as they either ignore SCV or add conditions not typical of replacement cost policies. Question 5. Under Massachusetts law, which of the following actions could be considered an unfair claims settlement practice by an adjuster? A. Denying a claim after thorough investigation and clear policy exclusions. B. Requiring additional proof of loss when there is reasonable doubt about claim accuracy. C. Failing to acknowledge and respond to a claim within a reasonable time frame. D. Conducting a routine investigation into the cause of the loss. Answer: C. Failing to acknowledge and respond to a claim within a reasonable time frame. Explanation: Massachusetts law outlines specific requirements for fair claims practices, including prompt responses to claim notifications. Failure to acknowledge or respond timely can result in penalties under the Massachusetts Unfair Claims Settlement Practices Act. Options A, B, and D reflect standard permissible actions in claim handling as long as they are conducted reasonably and within regulatory guidelines. Question 6. Scenario-based. Michael files a claim for water damage in his basement caused by a burst pipe in his home. His policy includes exclusions for gradual damage and wear and tear. Upon investigation, the adjuster finds that the pipe had been leaking slowly over several months, leading to the eventual burst. Which action should the adjuster take regarding this claim? A. Approve the entire claim, as the pipe burst is a covered peril under his homeowner's policy. B. Deny the claim entirely, as gradual damage is excluded under his policy. C. Approve only the portion related to the sudden burst, denying coverage for gradual water damage. D. Request an independent inspection before making a decision on the claim. Answer: C. Approve only the portion related to the sudden burst, denying coverage for gradual water damage. Explanation: In Massachusetts, adjusters must carefully evaluate policy exclusions such as gradual damage. Coverage applies only to sudden and accidental damage, not to damage from ongoing issues like slow leaks. Option A is incorrect as it ignores the gradual damage exclusion. Option B is too broad. A sudden damage from the burst pipe may still be covered. Option D may delay resolution without directly addressing the policy's terms. Question 7. What is the main difference between an actual cash value policy and a replacement cost policy? A. ACV reimburses the policyholder for the full cost to replace damaged property without depreciation. B. Replacement cost policies typically have a lower premium than ACV policies. C. ACV provides reimbursement for the cost to replace the property minus depreciation, while replacement cost covers full replacement cost without depreciation. D. ACV and replacement cost are the same, differing only in claims processing time. Answer: C. ACV provides reimbursement for the cost to replace the property minus depreciation, while replacement cost covers full replacement cost without depreciation. Explanation: An actual cash value policy calculates claim payment based on the replacement cost minus depreciation, reflecting the property's age or wear. Replacement cost policies, on the other hand, cover the full cost of a new replacement without depreciation. Options A, B, and D do not accurately describe the differences in how these coverages apply depreciation or affect premiums. Question 8. An adjuster in Massachusetts is reviewing a claim for a loss that occurred 60 days ago. If the insured has failed to submit a proof of loss form by this point, what is the adjuster's most appropriate course of action? A. Deny the claim immediately due to the lack of a proof of loss. B. Send a reminder to the insured to submit the proof of loss form before proceeding. C. Settle the claim without a proof of loss, as it's not mandatory. D. Demand immediate arbitration to settle the claim. Answer: B. Send a reminder to the insured to submit the proof of loss form before proceeding. Explanation: Massachusetts insurance regulations typically require proof of loss within a set period, often 60 days. However, it is generally a best practice for the adjuster to remind the insured to submit this form before considering denial. Immediate denial, option A, may not comply with fair claims practices. Proceeding without a proof of loss, option C, risks overlooking necessary documentation. Option D is premature, as arbitration is a last resort resolution. Question 9. Which of the following types of liability coverage would best protect a business against lawsuits for injuries that happen on its premises? A. Professional liability insurance. B. Product liability insurance. C. Commercial general liability insurance, CGL. D. Workers' compensation insurance. Answer: C. Commercial General Liability Insurance, CGL. Explanation: Commercial General Liability (CGL) insurance is designed to protect businesses from liability claims for bodily injury and property damage that occur on their premises. Professional liability, option A, covers errors in professional services. Product liability, option B, is specific to injuries caused by products, not premises-related injuries. Workers' compensation, option D, protects employees, not third-party visitors, from work-related injuries. Question 10. In Massachusetts, what is one of the primary responsibilities of an insurance adjuster when handling a property claim involving a business loss? A. To assist the insured in calculating anticipated profit from future business activities. B. To estimate the cost of repairs, evaluate the loss, and report findings to the insurer. C. To negotiate directly with contractors to obtain repair estimates. D. To provide tax advice to the business owner related to the claim. Answer. B. To estimate the cost of repairs, evaluate the loss, and report findings to the insurer. Explanation. Adjusters in Massachusetts are responsible for assessing damages, determining repair costs, and reporting accurately to the insurer, following ethical and regulatory standards. Options A and D fall outside the adjuster's role and would be considered inappropriate. Option C is incorrect because while adjusters may review estimates, direct negotiations with contractors typically fall under the insured's responsibilities. Question 11. In Massachusetts, if an insurer intends to cancel a homeowner's insurance policy for non-payment of premiums, what is the minimum notice period that must be given to the insured? A. 10 days, B. 15 days, C. 20 days, D. 30 days. Answer A. 10 days. Explanation. Under Massachusetts law, insurers must provide at least a 10-day notice period before cancelling a homeowner's policy for non-payment of premiums. This allows the insured some time to pay the overdue premium and avoid cancellation. For other reasons, such as misrepresentation, the notice period may be different. Question 12. Which of the following is a duty of the insured after a loss, as outlined in a Massachusetts standard homeowners insurance policy? A. Negotiate directly with contractors for repairs. B. Refuse inspection of damaged property until a claim amount is approved. C. Submit a signed, sworn proof of loss within a specified time frame. D. Transfer the policy to another person without notifying the insurer. Answer. C. Submit a signed, sworn proof of loss within a specified time frame. Explanation. A standard requirement in Massachusetts homeowners policies is that the insured must submit a signed proof of loss within a specified time after loss. This documentation helps confirm the details of the loss. Options A, B, and D are incorrect as they go against standard policy provisions. Question 13. A Massachusetts auto insurance policyholder has opted for underinsured motorist coverage. This coverage provides compensation for A. Physical damage to the insured's vehicle in a collision with an underinsured driver. B. Bodily injury expenses that exceed the liability limits of the at-fault driver's insurance. C. Losses due to vandalism by an uninsured motorist. D. Medical bills regardless of the other driver's insurance status. Answer. B. Bodily injury expenses that exceed the liability limits of the at-fault driver's insurance. Explanation. Underinsured motorist coverage is designed to cover bodily injury costs when the at-fault driver has liability limits insufficient to cover all damages. It doesn't apply to vehicle damage or to uninsured motorist incidents directly, which have separate coverages. Question 14. If a Massachusetts insured is found liable for damaging another person's property, which type of policy coverage would typically respond? A. Dwelling coverage. B. Personal liability coverage. C. Medical payments coverage. D. Loss of use coverage. Answer. B. Personal liability coverage. Explanation. Personal liability coverage in a standard homeowners policy provides protection if the insured is legally responsible for causing property damage or bodily injury to others. Dwelling coverage and loss of use coverage are related to the insured's own property, and medical payments only covers injuries, not property damage. Question 15. Scenario-based. Emma, a Massachusetts homeowner, experiences a burglary where several expensive electronics are stolen. Upon filing a claim, the adjuster discovers that the stolen items exceed her policy's sublimit for electronics. How should the adjuster handle this claim? A. Pay only up to the policy's electronics sublimit. B. Pay the full amount of the items regardless of sublimits. C. Deny the claim because sublimits apply to all personal property. D. Reduce the payment by 50% as a standard practice. Answer A. Pay only up to the policy's electronic sublimit. Explanation. Homeowners' policies often contain sublimits on certain items, such as electronics or jewelry. In this case, the adjuster would pay only up to the sublimit specified in the policy, even if the total value of the stolen items is higher. Question 16. Which of the following scenarios would likely be covered under a Massachusetts standard homeowners policy? A. Damage to detached garage from a flood. B. Theft of personal property from the insured's locked car. C. Damage from earth movement causing foundation cracks. D. Normal wear and tear on the roof leading to leaks. Answer B. Theft of personal property from the insured's locked car. Explanation. Most homeowners policies cover theft of personal property from various locations, including a car. Flood damage, earth movement, and wear and tear are typically excluded perils in standard policies. Question 17. In Massachusetts, which of the following actions would be classified as twisting in the context of insurance sales practices? A. Offering a policy with lower premiums than the existing one. B. Misrepresenting a policy to encourage an insured to switch to a new insurer. C. Renewing an existing policy with the same coverage. D. Refusing to renew a policy due to the insured's claims history. Answer B. Misrepresenting a policy to encourage an insured to switch to a new insurer. Explanation. Twisting is an illegal practice where an insurance producer misrepresents or distorts the facts of a policy to convince an insured to replace an existing policy with a new one, often to the insured's disadvantage. Options A, C, and D are not considered twisting. Question 18. A Massachusetts insured has selected the collision coverage on their auto policy. This coverage will pay for damages, A, to the insured vehicle when hit by another car, regardless of fault. B, to the insured vehicle only if the insured is at fault in an accident. C, for medical bills of passengers in the insured vehicle after an accident. D, for damages to other vehicles involved in a collision. Answer A, to the insured vehicle when hit by another car, regardless of fault. Explanation. Collision coverage pays for damages to the insured's vehicle in the event of a collision, regardless of fault. Medical bills for passengers are covered by medical payments coverage or personal injury protection, while damages to other vehicles fall under liability coverage. Question 19. If a Massachusetts property insurance policy is cancelled for non-renewal, the insurer is required to give how many days' notice to the insured? A. 10 days. B. 20 days. C. 30 days. D. 60 days. Answer C. 30 days. Explanation. Massachusetts regulations require that insurers provide a minimum of 30 days notice to the insured when cancelling a property insurance policy for non-renewal, giving them ample time to seek alternative coverage. Question 20. In Massachusetts, what is the purpose of the Massachusetts Property Insurance Underwriting Association, MPWA, also known as the FAIR plan? A. To provide a safety net of insurance for high-risk individuals who cannot obtain it elsewhere. B. To reduce premiums for low-income households. C. To insure government-owned properties against natural disasters. D. To promote private insurance companies through subsidies. Answer A. To provide a safety net of insurance for high-risk individuals who cannot obtain it elsewhere. Explanation. The MPIUA or FAIR plan was established to offer basic property insurance to individuals and businesses in high-risk areas who are unable to secure coverage from standard insurers. It doesn't focus on income-based reductions, government properties, or private insurance subsidies. Question 21. Under Massachusetts law, how long does an insured have to report a claim after an auto accident to ensure coverage under personal injury protection? PIP. A. 24 hours. B. 5 days. C. 7 days. D. 30 days. Answer D. 30 days. Explanation. Massachusetts law requires that insureds report an accident and submit a claim for personal injury protection (PIP) within 30 days of the incident to ensure coverage for medical expenses, lost wages, and other PIP benefits. Question 22. Which of the following would generally not be covered by a Massachusetts homeowners insurance policy under personal property coverage? A. Furniture damaged in a fire. B. Personal electronics stolen from the home. C. Jewelry exceeding the policy's sublimit for valuable items. D. Appliances damaged by a power surge. Answer C. Jewelry exceeding the policy's sublimit for valuable items. Explanation. Standard homeowners insurance policies often have sublimits on high-value items such as jewelry. Coverage for such items beyond the sublimit typically requires additional endorsements or a separate policy. Question 23. In Massachusetts, which of the following is an allowable reason for an insurer to cancel an auto insurance policy midterm? A. Non-payment of premium. B. Filing a claim for an at-fault accident. C. Moving to a different town within the state. D. Adding a new driver to the policy. Answer A. Non-payment of premium. Explanation. In Massachusetts, insurers may cancel an auto policy midterm for specific reasons, including non-payment of premium, filing a claim moving within the state, or adding a driver are not valid reasons for midterm cancellation. Question 24. Which of the following is true about the Massachusetts automobile insurance plan? A. It guarantees the lowest premium rates in the state. B. It provides coverage for drivers who cannot obtain insurance on the open market. C. It offers extended benefits for at-fault accidents. D. It is a temporary insurance program that only lasts 1 year. Answer. B. It provides coverage for drivers who cannot obtain insurance on the open market. Explanation. The MAIP is a last resort option for high-risk drivers who cannot find auto insurance in the standard market. It ensures that these drivers can obtain the legally required insurance, but it does not offer the lowest rates or special benefits for at-fault accidents. Question 25. Scenario-based. Paul has a Massachusetts homeowners insurance policy with a $500,000 liability limit. While hosting a party, one of his guests slips on his icy front steps and is injured. Paul is found legally liable. What will his homeowners policy likely cover? A. Only the guest's medical bills, regardless of other costs. B. All reasonable costs associated with the guest's injury up to the liability limit. C. Any punitive damages awarded to the injured guest. D. Only 50% of the guest's medical expenses. Answer. B. All reasonable costs associated with the guest's injury up to the liability limit. Explanation. Liability coverage in a homeowner's policy typically covers bodily injury costs up to the policy limit. It would pay for medical expenses, lost wages, and other related costs if the insured is found liable, but it generally does not cover punitive damages. Question 26. If a Massachusetts insured's car is damaged in a hit-and-run accident, which type of coverage on their auto policy would typically respond? A. Bodily injury liability. B. Property damage liability. C. Collision coverage. D. Uninsured motorist coverage. Answer. D. Uninsured motorist coverage. Explanation. Uninsured motorist coverage often applies in cases where the at-fault driver cannot be identified, such as hit-and-run incidents. Collision coverage should also cover the damage, but uninsured motorist coverage is specifically intended to address situations with unidentified drivers. Question 27. In Massachusetts, if an insured fails to renew their homeowner's insurance policy on time, which organization may assist them in obtaining coverage? A. The Massachusetts FAIR Plan. B. The Massachusetts Reinsurance Association. C. The Massachusetts Property Liability Insurance Guarantee Fund. D. The Massachusetts Department of Motor Vehicles. Answer. A. The Massachusetts FAIR Plan. Explanation. The Massachusetts FAIR Plan provides property insurance to individuals unable to obtain it in the regular market, including those whose policies were non-renewed. This organization helps ensure coverage availability. Question 20. For which type of insurance claim might a Massachusetts insurer legally use an anti-concurrent causation clause to deny coverage? A. Theft. B. Fire caused by a gas leak. C. Flood damage during a hurricane. D. Vehicle collision with a pedestrian. Answer. C. Flood damage during a hurricane. Explanation. Anti-concurrent causation clauses allow insurers to deny coverage if an excluded peril, such as flooding, occurs simultaneously with a covered peril, such as windstorm. These clauses are often used in scenarios involving natural disasters where multiple causes contribute to the damage. Question 29. What is the primary purpose of personal injury protection (PIP) in Massachusetts auto insurance policies? A. To cover property damage to the insured vehicle regardless of fault. B. To pay for bodily injury to others in a collision. C. To provide medical and lost wage benefits to the insured regardless of fault. D. To cover legal fees in the event of a lawsuit. Answer. C. To provide medical and lost wage benefits to the insured regardless of fault. Explanation. Personal injury protection (PIP) in Massachusetts provides no-fault benefits for medical expenses, lost wages, and related costs for the insured and passengers. It is designed to cover these costs regardless of fault in the accident. Question 30. In Massachusetts, if a homeowner's insurance policyholder wants additional coverage for items like expensive jewelry or fine art, what is the best option? A. Increase the dwelling coverage limit. B. Purchase an umbrella liability policy. C. Add a scheduled personal property endorsement. D. Rely on the standard personal property coverage. Answer. C. Add a scheduled personal property endorsement. Explanation. A scheduled personal property endorsement allows policyholders to add specific high-value items like jewelry or art to their policy, providing additional coverage beyond standard sublimits. Increasing dwelling or liability coverage does not address these items specifically.